The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Lakers 122 to 110 last night. Their record is now 29-4 for the regular season, which is insanely good. They're at a pace where they could possibly win more than 70 games. It's a possibility. I don't think they'll get 70, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. I do think they'll probably plateau at probably 65 to 67 wins, but it's definitely a possibility they can get to 70. They would have to go 31-8 the rest of the way. They could definitely do it. They are having a great season. You can say they have at least three guys who are legit all-stars this year, the way they're playing, in Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley. And even Jarrett Allen could be a fringe all-star in any other NBA season. That they're guys who put up his numbers that get in as a fringe all-star. So you could argue they have four guys playing like all-stars. They have just been that good this year. They have a very good team. I'm still skeptical about whether or not they can win a title. I just think that hinges on Donovan Mitchell. I've always viewed Donovan Mitchell as a very good player, but I don't know. For me, it's just like he doesn't stand out to me as like a real superstar or just like an MVP caliber player. Just I think that's why I'm so iffy about them, whether or not I should pick them to win a title or come out of the East. I just think Donovan Mitchell really is the X factor for this team. I just think he's going to determine how far they go come this regular season. Just it's all going to be on him. That's the way I look at it. But they have a very good team. You gotta respect them. They're definitely not a fluke. Their guys are just playing at a high level this year, so I can't hate on them. But they defeated the Lakers, which have their GOAT player in LeBron. Yes, LeBron fans, I'm calling him the GOAT one time. Not the GOAT for the league, but he's definitely the Cleveland Cavaliers GOAT. There's no question about it. He's their best player that they've ever had in their franchise history. And I was just thinking about what if the Cavs do win the championship this year or even next year? If they're able to pull it off, then they would have won a championship just shortly after LeBron left them. I believe LeBron left them in, I think it was 2018, 2019. I think he left them. It was 2018. I remember it, summer of 2018. So 7 years after LeBron left them, they win a title. That's a pretty damn good recovery if they're able to pull it off this year. They were able to get over the loss of LeBron very quickly and just come back from that. And now they have a foundation to build from for several years. They'll have their core together. That would be an interesting story if it does happen. And it just leads me to think about how many teams have recovered that quickly after losing like their GOAT player or all-time great player. Just like you look at the Boston Celtics when Larry Bird retired, they didn't recover for like a very long time, like nearly 2 decades. I think Larry Bird retired in 92 and they didn't win a title until 2008. Granted, the last title they won with Bird was in 86, but you get what I'm saying. That was a long drought. It took them a very long time. You look at the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan when he retired in 98 and nearly 30 years later, they still haven't recovered from that retirement. They still haven't gone back to the mountain. You look at the Lakers back in 91. Just they lost Magic Johnson. He retired. Granted, he did briefly come back in like 96, but that to me was a farce comeback. It wasn't legit. So if you think about that, they didn't win a title for nearly a decade after they lost one of their GOAT players. You could say Jabbar's their GOAT, Magic's their GOAT, but you get what I'm saying. That's a long time. It took them nearly 10 years to bounce back from that loss. I'm just trying to think of some other teams when you look at their history when they lost their GOAT player. Houston Rockets, Olajuwon, they still haven't recovered really ever come back to being a championship team. Granted, like he retired, I think in 2000, and obviously they won their last title in 95. But think about it, it's now been 30 years since they won a title. So it just the list goes on. A lot of teams don't ever come back when they lose their GOAT. And for the teams that do come back, it takes a very, very long time to come back. But the Cavs, they pull it off. They've shown that they can come back quickly. And I think it might hurt LeBron's legacy because, his team recovered quickly from his loss versus these other teams that had GOATs. They took a long time to recover, and they hardly never did. So I definitely think some people use that argument against LeBron to show that he's not the GOAT of the league all time. But I wonder if LeBron has any regrets about leaving Cleveland now that they're legit again. Maybe, but then again, if he stayed there, I don't think they're able to successfully build their team. If anything, the Cavs show that what the Lakers could have been had they not gone after LeBron, in the sense they could have rebuilt that team properly, and they might be in contention right now with all the moves they would have been able to make if LeBron was on their roster. I know some Laker fans will argue the bubble championship was worth it, but I really don't think it was, just in the scheme of things. If you look at it now, the Celtics have passed them again in ring count anyways. That's really what matters. So yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. I think LeBron will cringe big time if the Cavs won without him, because I think that way the city will even get over him. But I guess maybe they'll be indebted to him forever for getting them their first title. But I think they'll be quickly over him if they win the title now, just without him. So I guess, even though I'm not a Cavs fan, I'm a Spurs fan, that's an interesting story. I would be down with seeing play out if they can win it all. I would definitely enjoy it. Just the conflict LeBron would go through if the Cavs go all the way to win the finals. I think that would be entertaining and funny at the same time. So we'll see how that plays out.